The Dallas Cowboys got absolutely stomped and disrespected 47-9 on Jerry Jones's birthday. 47-9. They are abysmal, they are an embarrassment, and they are soft. Let's just call it what it is. I get tired of the Cowboys being talked about every single day on every sports show from the first topic to the last topic. What are the Cowboys going to do now? Is this a must win? Are the Cowboys legit Super Bowl contenders? Every single year it's the same question. And you know what? They keep answering it for us, but we don't seem to believe them when they tell us who they are. They are not Super Bowl contenders. They may not make the playoffs. In fact, I don't think they are going to make the playoffs. They're soft. Every team, they're 0-3 at home, dating back to that Green Bay playoff game. Something happened that day that exposed this defense for what they are. They cannot stop the run. If you are a physical football team like the Baltimore Ravens, like the Green Bay Packers, like the Detroit Lions, you can go in there and absolutely punch them in the mouth and they won't do a damn thing about it. The Detroit Lions lined up offensive linemen to score touchdowns. I want y'all to understand this. Offensive linemen are not out there to score touchdowns. They're not out there to run plays. They're out there to block and nothing else. Detroit tried to get them to score touchdowns. They lined up a 330-pound offensive lineman in the wide receiver position against the cornerback. They literally said, we don't respect you. We're going to screw around with you and show the world how unserious we're going to take you and what frauds you are. And the Cowboys had no answer. There was nothing they could do about it. Detroit came in there in their crib and did all this basically crapped in the middle of midfield at Cowboy Stadium. That's what they did. Y'all remember that scene from Step Brothers where the little kids from like middle school or whatever are making Dale and Brennan lick white dog crap. That's what the Detroit Lions did to the Cowboys. That's exactly what they did to them. And there's nothing they can do about it. And you know what the problem is? It's not Dak Prescott. It's not Mike McCarthy. The answer is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the problem with the Cowboys. He's been the problem for a very long time, and no one seems to understand that. Or maybe they do, and there's nothing they can do about it because Jerry Jones is the owner, and he's also the GM of the Cowboys. Is the owner going to fire himself? If we learned anything from watching Jerry Jones and listening to him talk for the past God knows how many years, he's probably not going to fire himself. Everything goes through me. Well, yeah, everything goes through you, and that's why your team sucks. Because you're the one that put this team together. You're the one that picked the personnel as the GM, right? You drafted these guys. You constructed this team as the GM, correct? Well, you made a defense that can't stop the run. Very soft up front. And you created this offense that's absolutely one-dimensional. You got one guy that Dak Prescott can throw the ball to, and that's CeeDee Lamb. There's no true number 2 wide receiver. There's no running game. Rico Dowdle in a washed up, down to his last leg Ezekiel Elliott. That's your running game? It's weak. Your offensive lineman can't protect. You're the one that constructed this team, Jerry Jones. And now you're all pissed off and going on the radio, threatening someone else's job on your radio show that you want to do every single week because you want to hear yourself talk. You want the attention. You want everybody to pay attention to the Cowboys every single week, win or loss. Well, now you're all pissed off because now everyone's talking about how soft you are and why this team can't seem to get it done and why didn't you make any moves in the offseason. So now you want to threaten somebody's job because they're telling you the truth and you don't want to hear it. It's no wonder the Cowboys are weak because you're weak. That was a weak response and it was cowardly in my opinion. You don't go on somebody's radio show and say like, I'll get somebody else to ask me the questions that I want. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to control everything. You want the radio show. You want people to ask you questions, answer the questions. Don't change up everything because now you're losing and now you're realizing that you are a failure as a GM. You failed this team, you failed this franchise, you failed those fans. You're the problem. You waited to pay CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott so long that the market continued to rise, continue to rise. The price kept going up for wide receivers and quarterbacks. And then you finally pay CeeDee Lamb. It's too late. It's already high. You wait till the morning of game 1 to pay your quarterback. The morning of the regular season week 1 to pay Dak Prescott. So now you got to pay $60 million to him. You just created an expensive team that's only going to get worse. Are you not going to pay Michael Parsons? I'm sure you're not going to let him walk. He's a great player, great pass rusher. But how are you going to take care of your team? It's just getting more expensive and your team's getting worse. You couldn't afford to get Derrick Henry, a running back who is still very much effective. You see what he's doing for my team, the Baltimore Ravens. You saw it firsthand how good Derrick Henry still is, didn't you? You couldn't afford him? The billionaire playpen, the billionaire franchise that is the Dallas Cowboys, you, Jerry Jones, you couldn't afford Derrick Henry? And you watched him stomp and stiff arm and just spit all over your defense. He did whatever he wanted. Just bullied everybody around. Got anybody in his way, he laughed and said, "Get out of my way." You watched that firsthand because you wouldn't pay him. It's pathetic. Your team's pathetic. It's a laughing stock. America's team, are you kidding me? Jerry Jones is the problem with the Cowboys. And newsflash for you guys, this is not going to get better this season. It may not even get better next season. We need to prepare ourselves. And when I say we, I mean like people who actually care about the Cowboys. I'm not one of them. But Cowboys fans need to prepare for a very long stretch of misery, quite frankly, because this team is not getting any better. Getting Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Deron Bland back on defense is not going to fix the problem. They're really great in the pass, pretty good in the pass rush, I would say, but it's not going to help stop the run. It's not going to fix the problems on the offense. It's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix a lot. This is not a good team. It was never a good team to begin with. You're actually pretty delusional if you thought the Cowboys were going to build from their 12-win season a year ago because they did not make any moves. They did not get better. My coach has told me all through my basketball career, you cannot stay the same. You either get better or you're going to get worse. You don't stay the same. You can't stay the same. Even if you cannot stay the same because your opponent continues to get better and better. Detroit, a Super Bowl contending team. They are still making moves, trying to get better. The Jets, even the New York Jets, just went out and got Devontae Adams. They're trying to save their season because they feel like they got something and they're not giving up. The Buffalo Bills went out and got Amari Cooper. They're trying to get better. Everyone around the Cowboys is continuing to ascend, and we're watching them just stay even. And now they're starting to decline right before our very eyes. You got a good quarterback in Dak Prescott. Got CeeDee Lamb. Got Ferguson. Okay, cool. You got to fix your offensive line. You got to get a running game. Teams are not worried about the running game of the Cowboys right now, and it shouldn't be. Why would they? But everyone's looking at McCarthy. How it's his fault. Dak Prescott, it's his fault. Probably shouldn't have paid him. No, look at Jerry Jones, the GM. Not the owner, the GM. He's the problem. He doesn't know what he's doing, clearly. So until Jerry Jones fires himself as the GM, the Cowboys are going nowhere. Forget a Super Bowl. Are you even going to get to the playoffs this year? How about that?